Build creative confidence. Beat the inspiration addiction. Join the Writer's Gym. A quote from a Writer's Gym member that really stuck with me this week is, "Sometimes you read these things and they just stay with you." We were talking about how some writers fear reading because they're worried that their love or their thinking about that particular author, that particular style, will influence how they write, what they write. It will narrow what is available to them. It will be more like copying than creating. And I remember when, probably during my MA in 2006, there were certain authors I was discovering for the first time and just having that honeymoon period with them and finding that, thinking, how did that beautiful, not so much phrase as idea, get encapsulated like that? And I was sensible enough to understand the only way I was going to understand was to experiment. And I started doing that, and we were encouraged to write in the style of different authors that we loved, hated, and everything in between, because then you find out more about how you say what you're trying to say. And we talked about how and why the best thing a writer can do for their writing life is to read as widely as possible. And I don't think I truly appreciated one of the key reasons that is the case until I was having conversations like this with Writers' Gym members all the time, which is not just you can prove to yourself, it's not like that at all, that it will add to the multitude of possibilities within you and therefore the multitude of combinations of thoughts, feeling, styles that are available on your artist's palette for you to mix as only you can. But also because it means that you are less in danger of the true way we hold ourselves back, which is, I'm the sort of person who writes this and not that. I'm the sort of person who has this kind of feeling and not that kind of feeling. And it's why people say things like, I don't write fiction or I don't write non-fiction. And then almost have a little bet with myself about this, almost as strongly as they say that within a workshop, just as strongly will they be excited when they find out they're writing a different kind of thing to what they thought was possible. For me, sometimes you read these things and they stay with you. That phrase that the member used is exactly why coaching writing is so much more powerful than teaching writing. Whereas a national curriculum, if you like, could say, you will use this technique with this vocabulary and you will get this result. And we would learn, if we follow these instructions, we will be good writers. That's great for 11 plus up to a point. It's great to say, increase your vocabulary, learn sentence structure. But it also is why I get adults coming to me saying, but I'm not allowed to start a sentence with a fronted adverbial. And it's that not allowed, or that you should, or that these are the things that you need to do with this tool that can help us stay on track when we begin, but what happens after that is much more expansive. So this is why you will hear me say on TikTok, you will hear me say in workshops, you will hear me say all over the place, the best writing advice is never about writing, and it's never advice. As a writer and as a writing coach, the best thing I can do is be there to celebrate with you as you increase your reading, as you increase your sod it, I'm having a go at this kind of writing and I never saw that coming. Because then you get to realise that a first draft is so sacred to you. A first draft is not there to be a final draft. It is there for you to explore and to widen what is possible for you. And that is true of reading as well as writing. So for anyone out there worried about plagiarizing, reading an author and finding your writing like them, please know that how we start that first draft is no more how that first draft will end than how a small child playing in a sand pit gets in to read architecture at university. A lot is going to happen in between. If you can commit to discovery, if you can commit to curiosity, then where it takes you will be absolutely unique. So the more you write, the more you experiment, the more you read, the greater the toy box you're giving yourself is. You'll have heard me say a lot of times about the artist palette, and this is something that's in the book I'm working on at the moment. We've each of us got a completely unique set of memories, imagination, observations, questions about the world and our place in it. And those are all unique. Therefore, it follows that the combinations we mix of those shades of paint are even more unique. Our job is to experiment. I often say I hope you would never find a painter not doing the base layer of their painting before they work up to the details. It needs to be flirt, here is the base colour, here is the landscape, and we work our way up to the details. Writing can feel a lot like this. It's not like what some of us have accidentally swallowed, the idea that writing falls out of your head in terribly neat sentences, in the right order, in neat paragraphs with beautiful margins. It can, but probably not in the first draft. And obviously, the first time you do something is less familiar than the 11th or 21st or a millionth time you do something. So I really would make the wish for anybody out there who is in any way saying, how do they do that? To find out how you would do that. Who's worrying about plagiarizing? To do that first draft, to find out what the ideas you're mixing with the style are, and find out how you do something that the author who inspired you could never have done because they're not you. Have fun. You've visited The Writer's Gym with author and coach Dr. Rachel Knightley. Production and sound design are by Ashley Lexine, and theme music is by Chris Gregory. To join a Writer's Gym workout online or in London, as a guest or as a member, visit writersgym.com or email thewritersgym@rachelknightley.com.